To me, the moment of the competition was when Mondo cleared 597 and you responded. Talk to us about how, you guys do that a lot. Talk to us about how you put that together mentally.
Well, first off, thank you everybody for staying so late. I know we're the last few people to get going before we all head out for a night of sleep and another great day tomorrow. What are they? What are the critical moments of the competition? And I would say that every bar is important at a championship. But when it came down to it, Mondo and I were even at 597. And that's what that third attempt jump was for, is to keep us even at that bar. And it allowed me to seize the advantage I already had. At 592 is when I took the lead back after being behind. And Mondo had a very critical miss at 587 that Piotr Lisek did not. Or he did. He did. And so I was in third place, and then I seized first place at 92. And so we went up to 97. Mondo took it back for a moment, but just like at the Diamond League final this year, because I was last in the order, the reigning champion, the highest ranked, I was able to respond. And you only get those chances so often.
Question? Yes.
Hi Sam, Robin Grammel, AFP. Last year you weren't part, of course, of the European Championships with a huge competition again, so it's the second one in 2 years. How can you explain that the competitions of pole vault are so exciting this year, and what do you expect for Tokyo next year?
Because of the environment that we built for ourselves in this event, it only builds a bright future. Armand Duplantis, after winning the European Championships, said he is ready for the next level. 605 is not to be taken lightly. So this year, my friend Piotr Lisek has built ever since the beginning of the outdoor season. In Doha, I was here in May. I won. Piotr Lisek did not. And throughout the summer, he kept jumping, kept improving, and he became a double 6-meter jumper in 1 year. That doesn't happen very often. 6-meter jumps in 1 year among men outdoors. I don't remember the last time that's happened. You'd have to get me a statistic. When you put those kind of guys together, they forge each other. They make each other hard and make each other really good under pressure. And so if we hadn't had each other all year since the European Championships last year, I don't think we would see the championship that we had now.
Hi, Sam. Jonathan Golt here from Let'sRun.com. Was this the best pole vault competition you've been a part of?
The best. The best is a hard thing to phrase, but I think that one of the most memorable for sure. What makes a great competition? Is it a high jump? Is it a lot of guys jumping pretty high? I think that the drama of the event in the last hour, what made this thing one of the best that I've been in, because it was hard. These guys, they don't play, but we were kind of having fun. But every jump was important. And the very fact that Mondo was able to take the lead, Piotr, he made a big ballsy move in order to pass, to try to get the medal that he wanted, which was gold. You don't see guys willing to be on the offensive that often. So you never win playing defensive in pole vault. You have to win playing offensive. So the only way we had to do it was to jump high.
The gentleman in the second row.
Mark Woods, ESPN.com. Congratulations. Given the crowds that we saw both here, but also at the World Cup last year in London that you were at, as an athlete, do you have concerns that you're going to supposedly big events looking up and there's not full houses and not like maybe the atmosphere that one would want?
Well, let me change the question. What do you go into a championship seeking? Do you go seeking competition, or do you go seeking more people to scream your name? I don't think both are mutually exclusive, but our sport is growing, and it often people want to say that because there aren't butts in seats, it's people aren't interested. That's not the case. It's all about how you present it. There's so many people watching from afar. I can tell you there were hundreds back in my hometown that wish they could have filled the stands. And we've done such a good job in the last few years sharing our sport on the internet and through each other's social media feeds and make it something interesting and memorable and new to watch. Here in Qatar, they've done a great job of that with the lights, the cameras, the volunteers, the help. Everything has gone so smoothly, and I think that's a championship we should all model after.
The gentleman in the back.
Well, still the same guy at the back. I guess you've read the story about Alberto Salazar today, suspension. What do you think about it as an American athlete?
I have read nothing. I've been focusing on competition all day, and I've been here for about 8 hours. I think Mr. Salazar's business is his business, and whatever it does to affect athletes, I hope it does it lightly.
The gentleman here.
Sam, did you jump with 490 poles throughout the entire competition again?
Would you repeat that?
Did you jump with 4 meter 90s pole throughout the entire competition again? And can you talk a little bit about the importance why you still use these poles?
Well, I'd encourage you to think about our event not by the length of pole, but by what complements each athlete. And I can tell you, we're on the biggest equipment we can manage. And the pole that I was on tonight was 16 feet 1 inches long, 490. But it was the pole I jumped the American record on. And I've jumped 606 on that pole, and I had to work in order to make it do the things I wanted to do. Mondo, he was on a big pipe as well, so the same as Piotr Lisek, and that's what you have to do. There's a truth to the event. You're not going to be able to match it with speed alone. You've got to get on the right equipment. And that's kind of the dark side of our event, because people don't get to see what the numbers are at the end of that pole and what the mental struggle is sometimes. It can kill younger jumpers, it can kill inexperienced jumpers, but when you have the crowd, when you have the fast track, those things become secondary, and it becomes more about the efforts, the jumps themselves.
Iaaf from TBS. It's you got the back-to-back, and also you're captain. How did you control or deal with the pressure? Did you enjoy it, or?
Well, pressure makes diamonds. You know, you've heard that time and time again. But as a professional competitor, right, not just an athlete, I can't beat Noah Lyles in a foot race. I'm a pole vaulter, right? And so I got to see what this championship was able to produce. I watched an amazing women's competition 2 days ago, and I got to see that this place, you can do some amazing things. Sometimes when they go into a new stadium, they're looking for a reason to doubt themselves. Being at this many times, you got to put that thought aside. You got to seek the strength. You got to seek the thing that's going to build you up so you can have that performance. I needed every single piece of help I could get. I watched Christian Taylor go for his fourth title. I watched Anzelika Sidorova jump a 495 clutch attempt to beat Sandy Morris when she was going for that gold. What a great story. And every time you see somebody do something amazing, it's just fuel to the fire so you can come back with that next great effort. And I couldn't have done anything tonight special without Mondo and Piotr. You know, once we were tied after that 580, all the gloves were off. Yeah, we were happy for each other, of course. But, man, we were all trying to win. Butterflies or not, it's pressure or not, it's about how you can jump.
Sam, you've captivated your audience. You're going to become a great motivational speaker one time when your career ends. Before that, let's see 1 and then 2. The mic to the gentleman with the orange, and then
Ivan Češákov, Eurosport Bulgaria. You are the second pole vaulter in history who defends a world title. The other one is Sergei Bubka. What means that fact to you? And second question is, not only today, but in Diamond League competition and other competition, when you win, you still can jump, but you prefer not to do it. Like today, you had the third jump for 602, but you didn't do it, and this is also other Diamond League competition. What are your thoughts for doing that?
Of course, you know, pole vaulters, they really understand the legacy of their event. And Sergei Bubka was is part of our history, is part of our bloodline as pole vaulters as anybody. He put such amazing performances out, 6 championships since its inception in a row, I think. I'm not quite sure. But it takes a titan to dominate an event, and I am not that. And so every championship is so special. It's a moment in history that's yours. And I like to share victory, I really do. I'm going to take this medal and I'm going to hang it on somebody else's neck and take a picture. Because that's what it takes to share the sport. You know, the glory is not mine. The glory was given to me by an amazing family, a good coach, and a lot of other things besides. Now, when it comes to being a defending champion, I think I can take that point of pride for myself, because everyone expects you, with the cameras on you, to produce a miraculous effort. Time and time again, I call it the golden handcuffs sometimes. When you're world champion, you go everywhere you go, whether it's beginning of the season, heart of the season, right after injury or not, and they expect a world champion's effort. Not everybody can bear that strain. I've had my trials and tribulations doing that as well. But when it comes to this championship, you get to take those handcuffs off if you think about it right. Because the championship does not belong to you. It doesn't belong to me. I don't deserve that gold medal. You got to fight for it every time. You have to earn it. Mondo knows it, Piotr knows it, and they respect the competition because of that. Now, Sergei Bubka was very dominant. He was. But I think our sport is even more interesting now because so many men could take the crown, so to speak. Missing the last jump. Oh yes, of course. You know, when I'm not Sergei Bubka, I don't dream about breaking the world record. I'll leave that to Mondo. I am a man that knows my limits, and I was at them tonight. And if I had taken more jumps at 6:02, I often ask myself, and my coach, he told me this after my last championship. When I came over, the bar was also at 6:02 or 6:01, competing with Renaud Lavillenie, the very same kind of thing. And I said, where should we go now? And he asked me, what would make it any better? It's hard to say something would make it better. I've already jumped the American record this year. I've always had many other competitions besides to make it special. I don't think it would have made it any more special, just to jump higher. It was higher already. I hope I answered your question.
Eric from Swedish Aftonbladet. There's already a social... Here he comes, yeah. Yeah, I can wait. There's already a social media clip on the two of you folding a flag. How much of a help did he need doing that?
I don't think he needed any help to fold it, but to fold it right, I think he probably knew how to do it well, but it takes two to fold a flag right, and so that's kind of a metaphor for how this event works, I think.
Larry Eater, Run Blog Run. Mondo, it was a fun competition to watch. You want to take us through a couple of the critical jumps?
There's a lot of critical jumps. I felt like, there was a couple times where my back was really against the wall, and I'm proud of the way I pulled it out because I had some clutch jumps, as did these two guys right here, especially Sam, and I gave it 100%. I gave it my all the entire competition, and that's all you can ask for as an athlete. So, I'm happy with the way things went, especially some things went my way on those last attempts for sure.
The gentleman here with the orange shirt.
Yeah, another question to Mondo. Your third attempt at 597, how much of a mental effort was that?
Yeah, it's really, really mental when it comes down to those third attempts, especially when the bar's getting high up there, because it's just a game of centimeters. And, the first couple misses, I felt like they were really close, and, it could have went either way. But I don't know how to explain how you do it. I guess, it just takes experience, and it takes, competing with these guys a lot and competing on the big stage with the big dogs for, some years now. And, without that experience, then I don't think I would have been able to do the things I did today.
Piotr is the biggest dog.
Mondo, Weldon Johnson, Let'sRun.com. Sam just said that he doesn't dream of breaking the world record, that he knows his limits, but he'll leave breaking the world record to you. Do you dream of breaking the world record?
Yeah. Sam's a strange dude sometimes, but but I mean, of course, the world record is the world record. It would definitely be a big achievement for me, but championship meets are, I think, the most important out of everything, because you can jump as high as you want in any meet, but if you can't get it done in the big moment when it really counts, when everybody's watching, when the pressure's on you, then it just doesn't mean the same. So the world record would be cool. I mean, to say the least, of course, but championship meets are the most important.
Larry. Thank you, Piotr.
Fine, thank you.
Congrats on, I didn't get to tell you earlier in the season, but congrats on the national records. You've had a long season. I've watched you from February on. What was going through your head tonight when you're trying to steal the gold from these guys over here?
Yeah, so my English is so weak. Please try understand me. Every time when I compete with them, it's not easy beat them. So yeah, this season was so long, so hard for me. I am young father right now, so I won't go to home and hug my daughter. Yeah, and I am glad to be with these two guys today here.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Vijay from InsideQatar.com. There seems to be a lot of entertainment apart from the competition when you guys are there at a meet. Is this planned, or do you just do it at the spur of the moment?
Well, we do talk a lot on the track. We're out there for a long time, and we have the best seat in the house for a good track meet as well. So it can linger. We kind of let the time go by. I think one point during the competition, I asked Mondo, "Hey, give me another minute of your clock so I can rest a little more," which I don't think he did, but he says, "You got 3 of them." But the statement that we joke, we play around. I mean, we're just, as Mondo has said, we're just dudes being bros, right? And I mean, if it's the same way, I go. My job is being a professional athlete, pole vaulter. I mean, who better to talk to than guys that have been there, Didn't mean to steal your line.
Lincoln Track with FlowTrack.com. Mondo, it's been a long time ago now, but your second place finish at NCAA's was a surprise. Did you use that at all for motivation in the next? Well, it's been 4 months now to get this medal.
Yeah, for sure. Anytime you lose a meet, especially one that it was really important to me this year. It was one of the main a big goal of the season, and it made me come down to earth a little bit. Realize that I was beatable, and yeah, I think it got me a lot more in the zone, and I think in the end it probably helped a little more than it hurt, because if I'd have won that, then I think I'd have went undefeated and would have been on top of the world. It felt like nobody could beat me, and which is not the case, especially when you're competing against these guys. But yeah, it's not the end of the world, of course, but it was important. It was important, and yeah, I think sometimes it's good to lose.
Hi, Mondo. There, on your left. Hi. When you succeeded at 97 tonight, did you think at that very moment, all right, it's for me, Sam won't make it to 97?
I'm being dead serious. And it really didn't even cross my mind, because you never can count Sam out. of anything, no matter what the height is. And I was just very happy that I made 97, and I'm still in the fight because I had no doubt in my mind that he can get over it, and which he showed that he could. So no, you don't doubt Sam. You never doubt Sam.
We'll take one last question, and it will be surprise. Larry.
Let's go.
So, Piotr, yes. You're fun to talk to. What's more important to you, national record or a big medal?
These both things was for me more important, but to be young father, it's more important for right now for me. Yeah, I'm happy to finish this season and take a little bit rest with my family.
How many meetings have you done this year?
How many? 42.
42. I got like 29, I think. I mean, you got Mondo. It's a lot, but it ain't 42, and that ain't light, as Mondo would say.
You have it today handicap because I was tired.
He got
True.
All right, thank you all. I gotta go.
Appreciate it. Thank you.